Welcome to episode 19 of the T.O.D. project, brought to you by Triumph Company with your hosts, Marcel Scott and Jared Klein. Today on the T.O.D. project, Marselis and Jared talk about their main inspiration when it comes to movies and overall consuming content, as well as some good old speculation about aliens, going to Mars, shout out to Elon Musk, and their involvement within the existence of humans. We'll talk a little bit about Egypt, the creation of the pyramids, talk a little bit about the Mayans, but overall, very interesting topics for this one today. Get connected with Triumph Company on Instagram at Triumph Company US, as well as visiting their website, triumphcompany.us, while using the code TOD10, that is TOD10, for 10% off your order at checkout. We would love and appreciate it if you would subscribe to the TOD project on YouTube and Apple Podcasts, along with following the podcast on Spotify. Also, one episode away, episode 20 of the TOD project will be streamed live on our YouTube channel. So make sure you go down below in the description, whether you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you do not miss the stream. Anyways, with that, sit back, relax, and open your minds for today's episode. Welcome, guys. Welcome. This is episode 19 of the TOD project. Welcome back. People on YouTube. Hi. You can see we do not have a guest today. It's just Marcellus and I. But people on Spotify, obviously, you can't see that. But yeah, it's just gonna be Marcellus and I just ripping it. Obviously, yours truly, Jared Klein, my business partner and friend, close friend, probably brothers by now, probably pretty soon, if not already.
Will be, bro. Like, we might as well go ahead and just change our last name to Triumph, Marcellus Triumph and Jared Triumph, because every day we're diving into this, and it's truly a great experience, man. Being partnered with this man, seeing where we come, how far we've come, especially like with our clothing and stuff. And like, guys, we just dropped a shirt that says "Shut up and work." If that shirt does not motivate you, please, we'll give you your money back, and we'll do whatever we can to make a shirt or product to be able to inspire you to get better. But yeah, Jared, I'm doing good and I'm really feeling great about this podcast. It does suck that, sometimes people may not be able to get on for whatever reason. There's things going on as far as like in Texas and Atlanta and out here in Tennessee. A lot of people are losing their power and stuff. But anyways, thank God my power is not out, and I'm doing this podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, people, I don't know about you guys. Like, you guys may get snow often, but like, people in Texas are freaking out over it. Like, they're like, people from the north, like, take your weather back. And I'm like, you got like 4 inches of snow and you guys are freaking out. You're losing power. Like, get over it. Like, I don't understand. Catch that alarm. I don't understand. Like, yeah, the weather is a little unorthodox for the region, but there's no reason. Like, I don't know. It's just the experiences. I guess where us residents of the northern United States are seasoned veterans when it comes to winter weather, I suppose.
Man, you make it seem like we're back in the old days where it's the North versus the South. Like, this ain't a civil war or anything. Like, just because the North doesn't get, they get snow every day and they don't get as much sun, people down South, truly, that's the reason why a lot of people move down South. They don't want to be in the cold weather.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Texas and Nashville and just down South, they don't have the equipment for that. Is because they're not expecting that. 5 inches, 6 inches of snow is almost uncommon. So when it comes here, people are like, "Ooh, oh my God, snow!" But if you live in there every day, like I've been in Chicago, Wisconsin, I've been up north, they're just like, "Well, shit, this is every day." Hey, if the sun is out a little bit, if it's snow like 1 or 2 inches, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this is nothing. This is like rain, I guess." So down south, they're not used to it. And they do go crazy about it. Like, people are getting stuck. Things is happening. Like, my sister, she got stuck, and her and my niece were riding in the back of a cop car, and my niece was in the back like, wee wee. She was enjoying it, and because they got stuck or whatever. So the policeman was like, you know what? You guys are stuck. We'll go ahead and get you home. You can leave the car here, because basically the snow is gonna melt eventually. But it's been snowing pretty crazy down there. A little blizzard down here in the bipolar weather of Tennessee.
Honestly, like, seeing all of it, like, I saw like I get like a heat map of like temperatures, and like right down the center of the United States, it was like super cold, like from fucking like Montana and the Dakotas stretching to Wisconsin and all the way down to like Texas, like through the central plains of the United States. It was like in some places it's like 50 degrees below average. Like something was up. I mean, a nasty cold front came through. And like even in like California and stuff, like they have like decently cold, like I mean like 50s and 40s. Like
Right.
that's like Southern California and like Florida. Like I mean Florida, like Southern Florida is still sitting around 70, but like Northern Florida is like 50, 40 degrees. Like you don't see that. I
Right.
mean, I get where the panic comes from, but come on, it ain't that bad. We endure it every year.
Yeah, you're right. It really ain't that bad. Like I kind of enjoy it. I look out my window or I look out the balcony. I'm just like, wow, we got snow. And then, I'll go for a walk or whatever. And I just enjoy it.
hmm Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, weird shit's
Most
happened.
most people don't want to adapt though. Like we weren't always these human beings that lived in a freaking house with fine wood and have electricity where we can turn on lights and be able to put our food in the refrigerator. Like we used to have to be out there in the wild, in the snow, ready to rustle and tussle to get to where we had to go and do what we had to do and to eat what we had to eat. And us as human beings, since these new millenniums and stuff, we, in a way, I feel like we have gotten a little entitled. We've lost a little bit of that hunger, that drive, because, now we get stuff handed to us. We got smartphones that's going to lead us everywhere. I remember my dad pulling out maps. We talked about it on the website or the podcast before, pulling out maps,
Yeah.
looking at a map. Now we can put in the address and just pull up. And but I'm grateful for it. You can use this stuff as your own tools and be your own warrior in this battle we call life, or you can sit down and get killed for not wanting to adapt and just become better. Like, one thing I don't like about the snow is that I can't get to the gym because I don't have a four-wheel drive car, which I need to invest in one just in case something like this happens. Like
hmm
some people that are dealing with this, what are you going to do if it does become, what if it was like an apocalypse and it was like, what if we end up having something that's so similar to the ice age and it just gets colder than it ever has before and it's just that time of this era and we're supposed to go through a cold front or some shit. You got to be
hmm
ready. You got to adapt. And that's what we're all about when it comes to Triumph. I know if you guys seen our new content, we've definitely adapted, and shout out to Anna. She's really giving us some good edits and stuff. And it's been amazing to see what we come up with. But Jared, bro, I want to ask you about this. Like, what movies like inspire you to become better, man? Because I started back watching movies and stuff. And I'm actually grateful that I have.
What movies inspire me? Ooh, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of. I'm big into like action movies. Like my Achilles heel when it comes to movies is like military style movies, like Black Hawk Down, or like there was one about an outpost in, I actually think it was called The Outpost or something like that. It was about an outpost in the middle of the Hindu Kush Mountains in Afghanistan, and it was a U.S. military outpost, and literally every single day, Al Qaeda or the Taliban or whoever they would literally be on the mountains above, pretty much above them, and they can all look down. They have mountains on all sides of the outpost, and the reason the outpost was there is like there's some roads and stuff there that were passageways, like pretty much necessity passageways for the military to get from point A to point B, and the outpost was in the middle, just to
Right.
kind of act as like a checkpoint or like a point of security. But literally, like these guys that were put there, they wake up every day to gunfire from the Taliban. Like they're on I mean, maybe not the front, but like they're facing gunfire every single day, and like it's really centered around a guy who won, I get not really won, but received the Medal of Honor for it. I forgot his name. Let me Google this. But
Oh,
basically,
this is a real story then. This is not
yeah,
no fictional army movie. This is real deal
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. The Outpost Medal of Honor.
Need to watch that.
Um, Keating, I think, yeah, Outpost Keating, Keating. Clinton Romashaw. He's the guy who won it. Basically, it's about like he basically had to take control of his like squadron at at a point in
in like the action like replay that they had to do with this movie, where Al Qaeda or whatever the group was, they were overrunning the outpost pretty much. Like they brought like just fire from all sides, people coming literally through the entrance of the outpost, and he was down about half his men.
Wow.
And they were like pretty much some people were trapped in Humvees, some people were trapped in like or injured in like certain sections of the outpost, and they couldn't all reconvene. So he had to grab people and pretty much make a plan on the fly to be able to take back the outpost. And I mean, like a month after this whole thing happened, they realized the safety concerns and almost how pointless this outpost is to be surrounded by mountains where they're literally susceptible to this situation at all times. So, I mean, I guess that's one that sticks with me. I love the military aspect because like that's the worst state of I feel like that is one of the worst states of being alive, almost like being put into a situation where you literally either it's kill or be killed situations.
Mhm.
Like there's a lot of mental strength that you have to gather and obtain to be able to perform that. I mean, yes, it's kill or be killed. So you kind of have to be molded into that mindset right away and realize either he's gonna kill me or I gotta kill him. So but still like all that stuff just like is crazy. And like even in that like literally facing death and having to make those critical decisions to save not only yourself but your squad, like your whole squadron, your whole base pretty much. Like that's one that sticks with me, I got to say. There's a Netflix series about all of it as well. I think it is called Medal of Honor.
Metal
But it,
on Netflix.
yeah, it's they kind of there's like they go over separate Medal of Honor like recipients. I think it's like 2 or 3 seasons, and every single episode is specific towards one person that's won the Medal of Honor, and they kind of replay the situation and how they won it. But I guess all in all, to kind of wrap this up, military movies kind of, I guess that's where I gather inspiration from, because there's a lot of mental battles, a lot of tough situations, a lot of critical decisions that they have to make that I feel like is very inspiring, I guess. How about you? I kind of went on a rant.
Honestly, that was perfect. That was amazing, and you got me want to look into that because I want to, I want to get into movies and stuff that inspire me. Because yeah, motivational videos are cool. Yeah, music is cool, but it's something about like watching a movie and like feeling like you can relate to the character. And yeah, the military movies, man. Oh my gosh, the stuff they gotta go through. You like, dude, how did a human being get through that? How does a human
Hmm.
being be able to go through a war where gunfire is being shot at you everywhere? People are dropping bombs, lighting stuff on fire. You have to like react on a whim. You may not, you may go days without eating. You're going through the mud, you're going through the dirt. Like me, I literally think of business. I think of entrepreneurship that way. And like my team, like Triumph, I think of the same thing. I feel like a general, or a soldier in the army, man, making sure that my team, the people that are with me that's out here in gunfire that are wounded, they're getting taken care of. We're making sure that our uniforms are on point. We're making sure our mindset is on point. We're making sure that whenever we go through something, we're ready to triumph over defeat. And yeah, that's why I love military movies too. But if I had to say anything close to that inspires me too is either one, the Rocky movies. Oh my gosh, because he keeps getting
Classic.
knocked down and getting back up. Adrian, Adrian. Hey, fighting hard. Hey, bro. Oh my gosh, I used to watch those over and over again. But another type of movies I like is like war movies. Like, for instance, before this podcast, guys, I was watching 300. This is Sparta. He kicks him off into that damn big ass hole. Like, I don't know what the hole
Hmm.
leads to, but dude's gone. And I like movies like that because those guys literally, when they go in the army, they'll, like, for instance, Leonidas, he looked back at his army and was like, guys, this is it. We're gonna go fight to the death, and we're going out there, and they're just out there just cutting, slashing, whatever comes their way. They're using the spear, they're using the sword, they're smashing with the shield, they're adapting, they're going through different people, they're using each other, uniting together with shields and stuff to block the enemy out the way. Like that's how a team is supposed to be. Like obviously, most people do not like cruelty. Most people don't like seeing people die. Nobody wants to see anybody die.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what the worst kind of death is, Jared? The worst kind of death is the death of your dreams. Letting your dreams go to die. The ideas that you have when you wake up every day to inspire to go and be something great in this life, and you let it die out, and you don't go for it. You don't fight for it every single day. That's the worst defeat to me. So we all have our own type of battles: mental battles, emotional battles, financial battles. So yeah, be ready. It's either
Mm-hmm.
fight until you die, or just lay over and just die, or somebody kill you financially or mentally, emotionally, whatever the case may be. And when I say mentally, somebody kill you, somebody tell you, oh no, you don't need to be a skateboarder, or no, you don't need to go out there and do a podcast, and you listen to them. You just killed that version of yourself that you seen in that dream and that vision of you becoming that great, whatever that was. So that's one thing I like about army movies. It inspires me to keep going regardless of what's going on. It helps me basically like be grateful for where I'm at and be surrounded by great other warriors that want to go out here and accomplish a good glory in battle as well in life in general. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Another movie I want to say, actually two movies. Hacksaw Ridge is a really good one. Have you seen that one, Marcellus, or else I'll explain
I
it.
gotta watch that one too.
Okay, Hacksaw Ridge is about a guy who wants to serve in the military, but he's a pacifist. So he doesn't hold any weapons. He doesn't touch any weapons. It's his religion. He doesn't. So he becomes a medic in the military. Basically, I forgot where exactly Hacksaw Ridge is, but basically Hacksaw Ridge in itself was a real place. It's where they had to. Honestly think it may have been, I mean, maybe Vietnam, who knows? But they have to go up this ridge and take over this ridge to establish kind of like to basically push the enemy back so they can just keep making progress basically. In this ridge is where the enemy is, and basically they have to take this ridge or else the whole operation is going to be done. So this medic is with them, and they're going up this ridge and they're literally just getting gunned down, right? And they have to retreat multiple times and keep going back up. And this medic, he is the only one. He realizes he gets shot or knocked out or something, and he wakes up and he realizes he's the only one up there. And it's like it's in the midst of like the battle, like kind of seizing a little bit, and he saves like 30 or 40 guys,
Wow.
and he puts them down over this ridge. He ties a rope around them and literally lowers them down over this ridge, and he just keeps going and going back and forth. One more, one more. That's what he keeps telling himself. Like the mental power literally to save other people, putting himself in harm's way to save other people.
Mhm.
Just oh, that movie's so powerful. The other one is Saving Private Ryan.
Saving Private.
That's an iconic war movie.
Who plays
That's all I'm going to say about it. That's an iconic war movie.
who plays in that movie, and like what kind of war? When you say
It's
war,
World War II. World War
oh,
II. So
okay.
like you get to see the storming of Normandy Beach on southern France. Like that's like the most notorious, like where like the United States took place. That's like one of the most notorious parts of World War II. Um, like where they are driving up to the beach and you see people like they're just getting taken out because the enemy, like they were posted up and they were driving up in these boats, and all you could see, like the boats, they have walls up the side, nothing over the top, and there's a door in front that would go down. They'd literally run up the beach. It's literally like they're all body shields, and you're literally
Oh,
running to
yeah.
not get shot. And like you just see people getting picked off, just foo, 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 bullets flying past you. Like, oh my God, that's such a good movie. And the story behind it and like everything you follow, this like platoon and everything, it's really really good. I think one of the actors, let me search this quick. I know one of the actors. Um Tom Hanks is in it. That's who it is. And Matt Damon.
Oh,
Tom Hanks is the main captain. Matt Damon is one of the main characters, and Vin Diesel's in it when he was younger. It was made in 1998.
I might have seen that movie. I just can't remember. It sounds like I might have seen it. Vin Diesel's in it. More than likely, I've probably seen it. But
Yeah.
if I haven't, that sounds badass. Literally.
It's an amazing movie. It's a really, really good movie. You know the guy. I think the guy. Have you seen Marvel movies? Any Marvel movies?
Yeah, I've seen some Marvel movies, but most of the Marvel movies I've seen are Spider-Man, the Avengers, Iron Man. I've seen Thor, the Hulk. Obviously, who hasn't watched the Hulk? Like, who doesn't like the Hulk? What else is another Marvel movie I've seen? Yeah, I've seen like those, like the basic ones, but nothing really like out of the way.
Actually, where I was gonna go, I thought the guy who plays Hawkeye in the Marvel movies was in it, but I was mistaking him for another actor. So never mind. But yeah, Hacksaw Ridge and Saving Private Ryan are two iconic war movies that like I can sit down and watch any day. And even in like when you're talking about like war in general, not just like modern war, like 300, like those movies, like the leadership that you get to see in there as well. Like literally 300 people, it's got to take one hell of a leader to convince 300 people to fight for their country, let alone fight in general only 300, but fight against the whole goddamn, who was it? What was it? Persian? Yeah, the Persian army.
Yeah.
Like that. Oh my God. Like the leadership, King Leonidas, it's insane.
Yeah, it is insane. Like that 300 people in war is really not a lot.
Not at all. Especially like the thing that they had, like you got to see behind the scenes of like how they planned everything, and that was awesome. And like how they took wave after wave after wave. And I think before like the ending scene or the ending battle where like all of them died, spoiler alert, if no one's seen it, like they lose what, two people, three people, I think you see die
Yeah, something like that.
in like a span of like a month and a half, getting bombarded by different branches of the Persian army. Like the leadership and the power, that it's insane.
Yeah. It's like the underdog. It's like the underdog that comes and becomes a champion. Like if we can even go out, we can go outside of like war and stuff. Like look at Tom Brady's freaking career. Like this man was a 6th-round draft pick with like 199th pick, had the worst 40-yard dash of all time. Dude slow as Christmas. Like that, the linemen's out. Don't put Tom Brady up against nobody in a race. But he's got heart. He's done won championships. He done went through the trials and tribulations. He's proven himself. He went from backup to starting quarterback. Like his story is almost like a fucking warrior. Man, him and Kobe Bryant. To me, they're like warrior type figures in their own like right and category. Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, people like that beat the odds and became number one, the top guy. And you don't get to the top for no reason. You get there because you fight and you battle your way all the way up there. But yeah, man, it's just amazing, dude. And we also got warriors. As far as there's a lot of cops out there that are good cops that help a lot of people. We got bad ones, obviously. Good firefighters. There's a lot of good people. There's a sniper guy that I was watching. This man has 33 confirmed kills. I can't remember his freaking last name to save my life right now. But that dude is a savage. And I don't know if you've been into this stuff, Jared, like paintballing or archery or like shooting gun targets and stuff, but that's something I want to get into because I think it'd be fun to like hit targets and stuff, but violence is not always the answer, but I'd be naive to say, okay, we don't need to be ready for whatever in this world, guys. Like when I say apocalypse, anything can happen. Like what if a purge happens? You ever seen that movie, Jared?
I've seen all of them. I think they're amazing movies.
Okay, which one you like the most?
What one?
Which
Probably. I think it's I think there's two, right? I think there's two. The one where they
3, maybe something like that.
They like paid people to go out and purge.
Ooh.
I think that's the second one. They like paid people, like the people that performed, because it was like it was because of like a whole political, like the purge was like the I guess revival of the purge was like a whole political like agenda basically in this movie, and they like paid people to do it. That one was super good.
Yeah, that's crazy. You hear that dang alarm go off. Ring,
Oh,
ring.
I would freak out, bro. I would not be right. I mean, bro, like, oh, I would like with all the shit going on right now, like, well, not, like governmental wise, like I'm not talking COVID. Honestly, that's been going on forever.
Oh yeah, I'm sick of it. I honestly, it doesn't even really affect me anymore. The only time I really think about it is when I go to the store and people are still wearing masks. But other than that, I don't really get into it like I used to. But what were you
Yeah,
saying?
but like the like how like all the like it happened in this movie. Like the government brought in hitmen from other countries to kill people, to kill the United States. Like so, basically, they did a purge to pretty much eradicate the poor population. Basically, like the
Right.
ghetto. I think this took place in like Baltimore, maybe Baltimore, like somewhere East Coast, like, and you were the main characters were situated in like a ghetto. It might have been like Philadelphia or something. They're situated in a ghetto, and that's where. Oh no, it was New York City, and it was like Manhattan Island or something, and that's the island is where this purge took place. So they closed down all the bridges and everything, and that's where the purge was. And they targeted the poor population, the ghettos and everything, because they wanted to eradicate and lower the population of that demographic. So like that's like all that shit. I know you already can guarantee that's what would happen. Like elites, like fucked up elites in the government, like the United States would hire hitmen just to like kill people because they don't want to put their necks at risk. You know, it would there'd be so much outside influence that would get covered up.
Yeah, it would be a freaking a massacre, man. And then you'd have people just killing each other and stuff. So, man, and honestly, a lot of these movies, man, I think a lot of them got true stuff. It's like what do they call it? It's like predictive programming, like getting society programmed and ready for it. Because COVID, the whole thing felt like something that happened in a movie. It didn't seem real. Like everybody wearing masks. If you go back 2019, if you were wearing a mask, you were a freak. You were crazy. What the hell are you doing? The only time you wore a mask was if you were the doctor doing operations and stuff, or if you was getting ready for Halloween, or Halloween trick or treating, or doing like a Halloween party. You didn't see nobody walking out with no dang diaper on their face. That's what the blue mask looked like, man. And then now they want to put it on everything. So honestly, we were conditioned for that.
I saw something. Sorry to interrupt. I saw something that it probably was a meme or something, but I saw that it was like a post that said the government is going to be instituting wearing a surgical mask, like the blue ones, and then a cloth one over it.
Dude, honestly, I don't know how the audience gonna feel about this, but you don't want to put two masks on, just like you don't want to put two masks on when you go into battle, as in you go into a sexual encounter with a girl or male.
Two
Why?
condoms, bro. Don't
Like,
double
dude,
bag it.
like you just basically you overdoing it now. Like you're already technically protected. Like if you're gonna get the virus, you're gonna get the freaking virus. It can go in your ears. Like there's holes that don't even get closed. What are you gonna do? Put something over your ears? Like the virus it can seek into your pores. You have millions of pores that are open. That anything can seep through. That's why it's called an immune system. You have to have your immune system on point. Now, I'm not here to sit here and be a hypocrite and say sometimes I don't snack, and sometimes I, don't do bad habits that weaken my immune system. But if your immune system is strong, you don't have nothing to worry about. It's all about that. If they pushed where people had proper diets, told people to eat more fruits, exercise more, drink more water, we wouldn't even have to worry about this virus. This virus come right in our body. We might lose a little taste and a little smell and get a little sick, and then lose it within a couple of days and go on about our day. But that's the society we live in, I guess. But yeah, bro, those movies you said, man, I might have to write them down and binge watch them. I have to go get some popcorn or something, man.
It's good. Like I know I like movies, like some people can view movies as a waste of time, but it depends on the movie that you watch. Like if the movie's got a message. Like you're telling me watching Remember the Titans is a waste of time? Not at all.
Ooh, Remember the Titans,
It's
man.
got that's an impactful movie. Like that's a movie that's gonna move someone, you know? I don't know. Like I think sitting down watching a movie. I love watching movies. I love taking in that content. Especially when like for me, like being a creative person, like in a career, like in my career as well. Like I don't just watch movies for the entertainment aspect, which sometimes this sucks. Like compositionally, sometimes I watch a movie because it's like produced really well or the visual effects are super dope. Like, and I know a little bit of how that's produced, but it's a blessing in disguise. But I just love movies, like especially when they have a good meaning behind it and like there's a good story to it. Like especially when they're based off of a true story as well.
Yes,
Just
that
kind of
makes.
puts you in the shoes of that situation.
Yep. And if the Texas Chainsaw, they say Texas Chainsaw Massacre was real, but if he was real, he lived in this time right now while Houston's power was down, he would definitely have a massacre going on. But but anyway,
I think it was real.
yeah, it was real. But yeah, bro, movies can be amazing. Also, Jay, I want to ask you this because this is another thing. A lot of people fantasize about being a movie star or maybe making their own movie. If there was a certain character you could be, what would you be? Or is there like maybe like a character you would make up in your own mind if you had like a movie and it was you starring as the role as the leading actor? What would you be as a character?
So I'm gonna go with the first. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the first one and like pick a character who I would like to, I guess, embody.
Mhm.
I'll go a cliche one, and then like one that has values, or like one that I would attribute myself because of the values of that character. So one, I would probably go like Thor or like something mythical because
Okay.
that'd be sick, fucking strong as hell, like a king of Asgard. Though granted, there's if you keep up with the Marvel series, there's no Asgard anymore. But like that'd be sick. But like when it comes to real life, probably like Coach Carter from
Okay.
I think the movie's called actually legitly called Coach Carter. Like having like being able to be harsh, but also have that insane positive influence on kids in a horrible situation. I think that'd be sick. Like being able to provide that value and provide the the guidance that these kids need.
Nice. Okay.
What about you? I'll flip it. What about you? You obviously
Ah,
asked the question, so you had to think about it.
that one's hard for me because there's a lot of actors that I like. Um, Now, okay, it just depends on how I'm feeling. If I want
Mhm.
to have a lavish life, luxury life, and living the best life, I'm going with the Great Gatsby. I will
Ooh,
go back. I'll be in like the 1920s, 1930s out there, the nice Rolls Royce, big ass mansion, nice suits, having balls, have parties, have people come over there. Some of the richest people in town, and we just have great music, nice interior chandeliers, and having a
hmm
great time. And have a girl or a wife, it's like love of my life, basically like I'm the king, she's the princess, and that's one role I would like to play. But another role I would like to play, far as like just being a motherfucking assassin, you're not messing with me, would be like Blade, John Wick,
oof,
or like some type of samurai. It's just something about
ooh,
like their mentality. It's like they're gentle. Like John Wick, for instance, like he could be a cool guy, cool, calm, collected, but you mess with him, he's gonna cut your head off. He's gonna shoot you. He's gonna do whatever he's got to do to end up, killing you if you mess with him, dude. Like for God's sake, man, they killed the man's dog, and he went in. He went ham on it. They killed his wife. They burned his house down. Like, dang, what else can you do to a man? And a movie that I watched here recently, like I don't know if I'd want to play the Joker,
ooh.
but I watched that movie last night for the first time, and it came out in 2018, I think. He
What
won a
movie?
Grammy from that movie, The Joker.
The one with Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah, Joaquin
Okay.
Phoenix. Yep. And man, it's so good because you truly figure out the story on like why the Joker was quote unquote crazy, and it's because of a lot of events that happened in his life, being adopted, up for adoption, mom and dad not taking care of him getting beat the fuck up everywhere he went, having a laughing condition, and people would pick on him because of that. And then on live television, one of the main guys, one of the main comedians, I can't remember his name, but he ended up killing
I
him at
can't
the
remember his
like
name.
his
Yeah,
mom.
he ended up just popping his ass right on live TV.
And then I think somehow Batman and the Joker are like brothers or related somehow. Like supposedly, like Batman's dad had relations with the Joker's mom, and then abandoned him and adopted him. And then he had Bruce Wayne as a little kid, and that was like his little brother. And then they ended up becoming like villain, superhero versus villain.
Mm-hmm.
But really, the Joker was a great guy at one point, but he got messed over. Like he had shitty cards. He the cards that he had dealt on the game of playing cards. His cards was messed up, but he ended up finally getting happy after a while. He got happy with killing people and stuff. It's like it was a joy of relief for him, and it was like a game. And then I remember at the end when everybody was like, "Yeah, wearing clown masks and stuff," and he was just on that car just and he was dancing down the steps. Oh, that's one thing. One thing I like about the movie is the fact that it tells you, okay, yeah, he had violence and stuff like that. Yeah, he's a human being, like he was doing all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you have to truly get to the point where you love yourself. You have to get to the point where you can dance on the steps and be out in the house just dancing by yourself and enjoying some music and being you and not caring what anybody is saying. Now, we're not saying kill people. We're not saying go shoot somebody again on national TV and make the whole freaking country or city go flip stuff. But if you're gonna kill anything, kill your doubts, kill the negativity, get rid of the people out of your life, that are making you go crazy or that are being negative towards you in some type of way. And if you're being bullied, man, get some help. You know what I'm saying? Or get in the jail, fight back. But I don't like to condone violence, but I just understand like the Joker was, just a human being like all of us, but just went through stuff. And that's really how it is with a lot of people in prison that are murderers, robbers, stealers. They just had a messed up life. And once they kept on doing those negative things over and over again, it just finally they went to prison. So the
Mm-hmm.
Joker was pretty human to me in that movie. He just had a bad life.
I like it became more into like a personal triumph, right? He realized, okay, like all this shit that I've gone through and all this stuff that like I'm labeled as fucked up, I'm just gonna embrace it, say fuck it, and like I'm gonna make the most of it. And he literally started he started a movement, whether or not it was the right thing or like the I guess the good thing to do. Like he started a movement and he was influential because people saw themselves in him as well.
Yeah.
Saw like they saw the the mental struggles. They saw the social struggles. Like they saw all that he was experiencing and adopted it to what they're experiencing and got behind him and supported him.
Yep. And created a dang cult. People walking around with dang clown masks. Dude, that was a thing for us. I remember, was it 2008,
It
2007,
was it was 2017. It was my senior year of high school.
when everybody was walking around in those clown masks and doing those
Yeah.
clowns and stuff, and like they were like acting like killer clowns. Dude, those videos used to get so many views. That shit went viral. Oh my gosh. I got tired of seeing clowns after a while. I'm still kind of tired of clowns.
Shout out. I'm gonna call out someone. Shout out Brad Cherney. Okay. You don't know who he is, Marcellus, but if anyone from high school is listening to this, from my high school is listening to this, shout out Brad Cherney because we went it was homecoming. We went to go TP. His sister was in our class. We went to go TP her house.
Oh man.
Was like toilet papering a thing? That's a homecoming thing, right?
Yeah,
That's a universal thing.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We
So
call it
we went to go TP her house and he was like guarding their driveway as a clown.
what?
Yeah.
You have a knife.
I mean, I don't know I think he had a bat or something.
Oh,
And
dang.
we taunted him and shit and we like wanted him to hit us. But shout out Brad Cherney. I'll call him out. I'll call him out.
So you guys never did get to complete the mission.
No, we didn't. Well, we didn't want to create a problem. I mean, we were dumb high school kids. We did taunt him, but we never got a chance to TP his house or to TP their house. I know a friend group of mine ended up like pretty much distracting him, and they had people come around the back and start TPing. So they found a way. Don't get me wrong, but like, yeah, I remember that. It was cool to see some of it though. Like my inner horror movie fiend in myself, like loved it. Loved seeing it.
Bro, it's like that song with what's his name, Khalid yeah, Eddie Khalid, young dumb broke high school kids, yeah, we
Yeah.
young. Bro, when you're in high school, you don't have a job, and all you do is go to school. You get bored, man. It's like you're itching to do something. If you're not in throwing yourself into sports and stuff, it's like you have nothing else to do but to go ding dong ditch on doors and stuff, bro. Oh my God, I remember doing stuff like that, man, and getting with like 5 or 6 of your friends, and you go together, and you're like, all right, look. But you're gonna go knock on this door. We're gonna hide over behind these bushes, and we're gonna sit there and watch and see them come out to the door. And you go knock, and you start running. You go behind the bushes, and they come out. They're looking around like, "Who is it? Who is it?" Like that stuff used to be fun, man. And then also, like we used to do it in trailer parks, but now that's when it didn't get fun because my brother, man, he's the type to throw rocks and stuff at the trailer park. So you be running one way, he'll throw a rock at a trailer near you. You're like, oh shoot, I'm going that way. Why you do that? Trailers and stuff. If you throw a rock at the trailer, it's gonna go. Pow! It's gonna make a loud noise. So that person in there, they're gonna be like, whoa, what the fuck? Like somebody threw something against my house.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, but man, the crazy stuff we used to do as kids, man, just to keep ourselves occupied. If you're in high school listening to this, 16, 17, do something productive. Read a book, go play some tennis, play some basketball, go play some football, play some dang video games, get paid on the video games. I'm a fan of that. I'd rather for my kid, like for instance, if I have a son, he's like, Dad, I want to be a gamer, I want to be a gamer. All right, look, make some money off the games, do what you do, so that makes you where you're not out there in the world doing crazy stuff. Did you ever egg anybody's house, Jared?
I never egged. Me personally, I never threw an egg. I mean, if anyone wants to take that out of context, go for it. Think I'm lying. Who cares? I never threw an egg. I was a part of a group that did egg, though.
You say it's funny now, but like if our car was egged up, house was egged up, we'll walk outside mad and say, "Wait, who did this? Who did this?"
or
Man,
like sticking like the plastic forks in their lawn and then taking off the. So you got the fork, right? You got the fork, right? You got the fork, and you stick it in the ground and you take off the top. You rip off the top, so when their lawnmower goes over it, the lawnmower catches the fork and it just rips up the fork and spits plastic all over the shit. That's a good one.
oh snap! You guys were doing that. Yeah, you
Oh
guys got
yeah.
creative up there in Wisconsin, boy.
That was big. And like silly string was big, but I know sometimes if silly string dries, it like rips paint off. So we didn't really do silly string much on like houses or anything, but we did silly string all up in their yards and stuff.
Wow.
Mhm.
I know there's another thing I remember in high school that really got on my nerves. People would they would like fold their paper up and they would put it in a rubber band and they would shoot you with it. I forgot what they call it, like I don't know what they call it, like warheads or like paper or something. But that shit used to hurt, dude. It was
Oh
literally
yeah.
like somebody like doing like a bow and arrow at your ass or a slingshot, and it just feel like a rock hitting your neck. But it was just a piece of paper like bottled up real good or folded up really good. Gosh, that used to suck, man. But
Spitballs and shit too.
oh my God, don't even talk about that. And then, but that's what we used to do as kids, just to have fun and stuff. And
Mhm.
honestly, our kids, I wonder if they're even going to be doing anything physical like that. I feel like they're going to be more diving into technology and everything. So when they go to their friend's house, it's going to be like, hey, bro, put the VR on, bro. We about to get inside the game instead of them like coming outside and making their own game. Like we used to play with ant hills and worms and get dirty and stuff. But it's good to talk about the old times, but sometimes I do wonder what it's going to be like in the future, 20, 30 years from now, whenever we're like 50, 40, 50 years old.
Mhm. Thinking about that, like part of me is like I don't want to be like that boomer, Like how our parents are now. Like, oh, back in my day I had to walk uphill both ways to school and it was negative 45. Like, get out of here. Like, I don't want to be that guy. Like, I feel like now, like us growing up in the age that we're growing up in, or have grown up in, like with the adaptation of like something completely new. like, and like the change of technology is the main thing, and like the change of a social environment. Like I don't think I'll be that guy. I like if I see stuff change, I'll be like, oh well, it changed during my life.
Exactly. I think that I'm gonna be that older dad or that grandpa that's gonna be that cool grandpa. Like I'll probably go out and snowboard and skate with the grandkids. You gonna see me looking hip far as like my clothing and stuff. Don't get me wrong, I'm probably gonna wear more suits then. I'll be a little bit more professional as far as my clothing, but I'm gonna go out there and be active. Look, you're not gonna bust me in bowling. Let's go. You wanna play basketball? Let's do it. You play tennis? Let's do it. And
Mhm.
I just want to be that older guy that it's kind of like not childish by like manners or attitude or whatever, but someone you can truly have fun with, because most time when people get around that 50 range, man, they start getting irritable, they start like not being as grateful, they stop going out and having fun, or just pushing the envelope, doing their
Mhm.
best to fulfill their potential. And honestly, until the day I'm gone, I'm gonna do my best to keep evolving, keep learning, keep growing, keep becoming a great person. And then like my grandkids, my kids, they listen to me about stories about when we didn't have phones, or when we first had the first iPhone, or the first envy flip phone, or the
Woo!
freaking
Like the
razor.
Motorola Razor, bro.
Yeah,
Oh, I had one of those. I had one of those. Oh, brings back nostalgia. Nostalgia.
hopefully
Big
we have
time.
hoverboards by then, like on Back to the Future.
Yeah,
Now,
we'll probably have hoverboards by then.
oh snap, bro, just imagine that, just pulling up somewhere or going somewhere, just ride on that.
Pulling up in a hoverboard real quick. Lamborghini hoverboard.
Bro got telegram, not a telegram, but got like a what's it called? It's like a hologram. You're like a hologram on your
Mhm.
wrist from your watch. Like somebody calls you, you can see them. Like, hey, bro, I see your outfit, man. Okay, looking fresh. Tell them what the outfits and stuff are gonna look like by the end. And dude, Elon Musk may have it where we can go to Mars and come back by then.
He said what was it, like 2050 or like 25 or 30 years? He said traveling to Mars is a big possibility with like SpaceX and stuff.
Yeah, man, he's wanting to make it where basically some people live here and some people live in Mars. Like
Mhm.
you get to choose. Like, hey, bro, where you gonna stay at? You gonna stay here on Earth, green and blue Earth with the clouds, or you want to go over here to Mars? And I think, dude, I wonder how it's gonna be built. Like the city's gonna have to be smart. It's gonna have to be like maybe like a inside city or something. Because I don't think Mars will allow you to be able to just be out there breathing. I'm pretty sure you're not. So
Yeah, the struggle that he was considering. I saw this on, shout out the Joe Rogan podcast, amazing podcast. Go listen to that. He's a brilliant man. He has some of the most brilliant brains on his podcast. He recently did one with Elon Musk, and he posted the clips about it. Elon's main, I guess, problem is, what if like we get to where we can transport people to Mars and like live on Mars. The problem would be something cataclysmic happening on Earth, or it won't even have to be cataclysmic. The resource ships to get to Mars stop coming, right? What resources can we take from Mars itself, or based off of what we've altered to be able to have us survive on Mars?
yeah.
Like if people go to Mars and the resource ships from Earth stop, are they going to continue to survive?
Dang, that's a good question.
It's like
To be,
their head, that's where their head's at, to be sustainable. They know they're going to be able to get there. It's just, how are we going to be able to be sustainable and make that a real possibility of like being there, living there? Like, yeah, you can go on like a couple year vacation to Mars if you want to, but like but like you live there for 15 years, they don't know if it's going to be sustainable yet. So that'll be interesting to see
yeah.
what that.
Also, it'd be interesting to see what kind of food are they going to be able to grow there, and how are they going to grow it? Are they going to grow it in like certain type of labs? Oh
That's
man,
what
is
I'm
it
saying.
gonna be
Like,
organic? Is it going to be like genetically modified, worse than what we have here? And also, I got to thinking about like what are people going to be wearing? Like a certain type of like space suit or some type of fly like galactic looking wear like we seen in like Disney movies or movies like on Star Trek and shit. You got like on a little suit and little stars and stuff. I don't know, but the idea to me is amazing to think that there's a possibility that before we pass away, we might even have the chance to go to Mars and come back, or just go to Mars. Would be amazing.
Yeah,
But
like growing up, even learning about the planets, and like we all have that fascination of watching space movies and like wanting to literally go to outer space, and like we might be able to see it be a possibility of like commercial use to go to outer space rather than like having to be an astronaut.
right,
That's just, it blows my mind away. That is insane. It's so insane.
I wonder if you gotta like. I wonder what you have to worry about. Like, I wonder what's out there. You know, like some people believe in aliens.
That's another thing too. That's another thing he said.
Yeah,
He
that's another.
said he said if aliens were out there, we would know.
That is true, but that's
He said
true.
the odds of them just chilling and being very conspicuous are very little. And like he said if they were out there and they saw Earth, there's no reason for them to hide themselves.
Right.
There's no reason for them to. I mean, he's speculating. Obviously, there's no way it's fact. He's speculating and being affirmative with his beliefs. But like, I'm believing it a little bit too. Like, what's the reason they would need to hide themselves? Personally, I think it goes all the way back to like Egypt and like Mayan times,
Mm, see that, yo.
where there's like a legitimate possibility where the human race didn't build these things or construct these things because, I mean, we can go down that road. There's the construction methods are completely outdated with where they were in the timeline. Either that or there's something broken in the timeline that we haven't discovered yet, which is a high possibility as well. But based off the information that we have now, there's no way, there's no proven by scientists at the moment, there's no possible way the infrastructure of those current civilizations were able to build those massive pyramids, in both cases the Mayans and the Egyptians, without some other help.
And the Sphinx, that the big cat or human
Mm-hmm.
head but cat body looking figure. Like you telling me they had a whole bunch of men pulling those heavy ass rocks to put them in there, and then they have like holographics in there. Hopefully I said that right, but they have those paintings in there that they do.
Hieroglyphics, yeah.
I've seen like videos where they explain, where they say that they had like aliens and stuff like written in there in the skies on some of the
Mhm.
hieroglyphics and stuff. So it's crazy, man. That civilization, man, I feel like they were way more advanced. They were smart individuals. They were not dumb by any means. But dude, to tell me they didn't have some type of help to make them pyramids, don't really add up to me. And how the other pyramids almost connect with that,
Mhm.
as far as like distance wise, I think like there's certain like it's crazy, man. If you get
Well,
into that
the
hole, that.
pyramids are almost exactly formed for perfect north, south, east, and west.
Right.
And where they line up is the most like that's where the magnetic field is the strongest around Earth. And like there's a bunch of other things that kind of, it's perfectly a third of the, or perfectly half the way between something, I think like a northern longitude line, like a I'm not gonna, I'm just not gonna, it's like perfectly in the middle of the some northern longitude line and the equator. Like it's something, they're like all these synchronicities are lining up to where there's no way. Personally, I think that those creations were aided or either directly helped by aliens, and that was their way of saying, hey, we exist, let us help you. And then as time went on, no one continued to believe, so then they left and they were like, there's no reason to be here, they don't want our help, so we're not going to like keep poking a stubborn person with a stick.
Right, 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 right.
It's like,
Man,
that's what I think. Like they were like, if they were already here, they produced these magnificent things for us. They produced these like amazing feats for us, and then now we don't believe that they did it, so they left.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And some people believe that we got help with technology and from aliens and everything like that, because how powerful is, like the magnetic field is very powerful around us. Like we have energy we can't see with our own eyes. We have things going on around us that, God, the higher power, whatever you want to call it, is
Mm-hmm.
flowing energy around us. We're all energy at the end of the day. So like the energy and everything that we needed to make a cell phone has always been here. We just now been aware of how to do it. And just like it's just crazy to think, because like it's almost like magical, like how me and Jared are on Zoom. Me and him are not in the same area right now, but you can hear us and you can see us because we're tuned in on a certain frequency. So that just goes to show you, like, hey guys, like there's more to life than just waking up every day, going to work, going to school, living life. Like there's spiritual battles that we're dealing with. There's things going on that we can't see. There's things that happened back in the past that history, a lot of history got lost. A lot of books, a lot of things, a lot of stuff that we had to like show proof are gone because, I mean, dang, it's history. So we don't know. This planet, this galaxy is over billions of years old. So there's things that happen that we may not even remember as humans. Like I think like we only know or have recorded like the past like 5,000 years. So within whatever was passed then, way back in whatever BC, AD, whatever, a lot of stuff happened since then. And but thank God we're not in those eras. Thank God we're in this era. We are in the greatest era of all time. But
Mm-hmm.
Jared, if you can go on a time machine anywhere, where would you like to go to as far as like an era in time and just be in there
Mm.
for like, I don't know, maybe a year, a couple days, a week, just see what it was like.
Probably, I'm like going back to what we've talked about. Like I'm fascinated with like Roman culture and like ancient Greek culture. Like that in itself is insane. Like a lot of what we learn educationally stemmed from those cultures. So like being in that era, like to meet like Socrates or Galileo, like those insane minds, and even just to like immerse myself within that ancient Roman culture is like, I mean, it's glorified, don't get me wrong, in what we see, but I'd like to be a part of that glorification. That'd be dope.
Man, that would be dope, man. And just the way it just seemed like back then, man, people had a lot more character, heart. Like literally, you didn't know when you was gonna die. You had to fight, or you gonna die. Period.
Mhm.
And yeah, I like that era as well too. Obviously, there's a lot of killing, a lot of violence, but let's just be real. What era? Tell me an era that doesn't have violence, and I'll tell you that it just didn't exist. There's always gonna be some type of conflict, some type of trials, some type of things you got to triumph over. Hell, if you lived in the 1920s, you got to deal with mobsters and gangsters and people pull up with guns, or segregation and KKK killing you depending on what race you were. Like I thank God I wasn't grow I didn't grow up in that era. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you're probably about to ask me what era I would like to go back
Yep.
to.
Yep.
Ah, let's see. Since you already said the Roman, I can't say that because you already said that.
No, you can say it if you really want to. Just have a good explanation.
I would say anywhere from the 1200s to the 1800s, like medieval times, or even
Ooh.
when Abraham Lincoln was here. Some of those times were amazing. Like they seem like they're pretty cool. Like think about back in the day where they had to get on horse and buggy and stuff. Like I've never rode on a horse, but man, it seemed like it would be kind of fun riding on the horse.
Hmm. Or like the Roaring Twenties would be a dope. Like you were talking about Great Gatsby, like that era would be dope. Um, I would say like not like I don't know how to explain this. Not like the 1700s, but like probably like when the Industrial Revolution started.
Ooh, okay.
Like and be able to see like the first American like billionaires, the first American industrial tycoons would be sick. Like Andrew
Ooh,
Carnegie, like
John
um
D. Rockefeller.
yeah, shout out. Okay, there's a movie on Disney Plus. It's amazing. It's a musical. Okay, it's a musical, so it's gonna turn you off right away. It's called The Greatest Showman. It's about P.T. Barnum. He was the first self-made millionaire in the United States. He created the first circus. It's
Oh
an
yeah.
amazing movie. It's an amazing movie, but like that whole like industrial revolution, like creation of pretty much the country's economy would be a dope place to be back into.
Yep.
I mean, hard times, don't get me wrong, but like the opportunity that now we are able to learn about and then to go back and experience it would be sick.
But we live in the best time ever. I don't care what nobody says. I love our era. We got the smartphones, we got the technology.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally to do something like this back in what he was talking about back in like the 1920s, 1910s, you had to literally have a radio station. And yeah, you wouldn't be able to view the podcast and video. You'd have to, or not, it's not even a podcast, it's radio. So basically, we're doing the new form of radio podcast. I'm thankful for it. But guys, we've almost did an hour. You know, we usually do our podcast that long. It's
Mm-hmm.
been great. It's always good to, talk about movies or different things and aspects as far as like times and religions and eras because guys, we everybody that lived on this planet, they went through struggles, they went through trials, they went through different things as well. They had to live and die just like everybody else. And honestly, I feel like history repeats itself, even though we may have technology and stuff, and even though we feel like we're so much more advanced, but our human brain, we still have that limbic system like they did. We still have the reptilian brain. We still fear things. We still go through things just like them. The only thing is just different. Like I said, it's the times that we live in. So
Mm-hmm.
be vigilant, be smart like these soldiers were. Lead yourself, lead your family, become something great, and form your own glory, and have a freaking good life. Cause it's gonna be over one day. It's gonna be like I feel like life is almost like a play or like your own movie, and it's just literally how you want to play it is how it's gonna turn out once those flowers hit you and you're in that grave going down in that coffin. But anyways, Jared, you ready to close it out?
Oh yeah, I'm ready to close it out, man. I mean, episode 19. I mean, you guys already know. Episode 20 is gonna be filmed live on YouTube. I will let you guys know. Our special guest is going to be Danny D Fitness. That should be a good guest to have on for the episode 20. Haven't talked to her in a while since we contacted her, but it should be a very good episode. But yes, episode 20 will be recorded live and streamed live on YouTube. So make sure you guys go down in the description, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and ring that notification bell. Cliche kind of, I guess, call to action. But make sure you stay tuned with that YouTube channel so you can tune in for that stream. But anyways, guys, excuse me. Wow, this has been episode 19 of the TOD Project, and we will make sure to see you guys next time. Peace.